to members of the press, to the listening audience, to the people of Bond County, more especially the constituents that I represent. I'm here this afternoon to respond to Honorable Moimah Briggs Mensah, Chairman of the Bond Legislative Caucus. It almost seemed like a compulsion for me to respond to her because it has to do with my person and the character that I bear as an Number 3 did repose confidence in me that I should properly represent it and not to be economic thief. To the centrality of a conversation and the assertion made by her during the last sitting, she made mention that bottleneck clinic does not exist in the national budget. And then she was asking Honorable James Cole, who could not speak for himself or even make that on readiness. She went to him as second the motion. He decided to raise his hand. In fact, he came to me and asked me what were the issue, and I explained to him. So he just wanted to hear from me so that he can get the business for what he wanted to do. He did raise his hand, and he was recognized by the speaker. A motion, on readiness were proffered that bottleneck clinic should be removed from the national budget because the clinic does not exist. And I'm here to dismiss that. And I said that it was faulted, it was misleading, it was malicious, it was elementary for the both lawmakers who have insinuated in section. Now, when you speak about bottleneck community, it does not have to be bottleneck town. Ancestral from my father, my great-great-parents from Bottleneck Town. We lived there. According to my father, they lived there. There they have most of our big brothers and other people. So they did not do due diligence. And then she decided to say that Honorable Cole went after the money and took the money. I just tried to provide little vocation for my colleagues when it comes to budgetary allotment and appropriation and the processes that those appropriations have to go through before the fundings are accessed. If monies are appropriated in the national budget, under any institution, it is that institution that does the request toward the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, and that disbursement from the Ministry of Finance Development Planning in the name of that institution, that money is given directly to the Ministry of Health or the need institution. So that is the clear thing I want to establish here, that Honorable Moimah Briggs Mensah were trying to link me to going to receive $50,000 from the national budget, and I took that money and I ate it. It only suggests limitations, because at no point in time that the Ministry of Finance, under the watch of Minister Samuel D. Tour, will want to give money from the national budget as intended for health institution or even academic institution or any institution for that matter. Those checks will be prepared in the names of the institutions, and those institutions may hire contractor or vendor to purchase whatever the money intended for. So that is what I want to be clear. At no point in time I'm associated with taking government money to eat it. However, for the sake of the listening public, I represent Bond County on the Ways, Means, and Finance and Development Planning. The Constitution of this republic, probably our two colleagues do not understand it, suggests that 2 persons should come from each county and represent on the budget committee. I think the framework of the Constitution, the reason they did that was those 2 individuals are to speak for the county and make financial decisions on behalf of the county when the budget discussions are ongoing. That's why if you are a lawmaker, you channel all of your information or all of your requests through your representation on the budget committee. Bottleneck Town is a town that I was born. So Honorable Mensah does not understand that. She made an assertion that she's the chair of the caucus, that anything that affects Bond County affects her as a person, and it is her concern. Be as it may, we will come to that issue. And when I begin lawmaker, I want to make it categorically clear. The clinics in Bottleneck were never built by me. That process was initiated by Chief Dr. Joel Howard Taylor, then Senator of Bond County in Bottleneck community. And those facilities are there, the structures are there. And the Bond County monies were spent on that very project under Superintendent Lucille Herbert time. The records are available to the county. So when Honorable Mensah made an assertion that the clinics do not exist, those facilities are not there. I'm wondering, that what I said, it was malicious, it was baseless, because the structure exists. Structure existing and now functioning are two different issues. That's why when I begin lawmaker, it is the place I come from. It's not in District 6. People from Dremu, people from Bonnet vote for District 6. That is almost 30 to 45 minute distance from the polling center we got for District 6. So I don't understand. Now, Honorable Mensah, I want to make it clear to you. If you went to Dremu, you will see the very two buildings standing there that were intended to be used for the clinic facilities that we refer to as the Bonnet Health Center. Go to Honorable Lucia Herbert, go to the Vice President and ask her. These information will be made clear to you. When I begin lawmaker, I decided since I come from there where I live, and it's my community, I should be able to make the clinic functional. I was able to love it with my colleagues on the budget committee, and were able to secure $50,000 United States dollars. And then the district that I represent, district number 3, my parents come from Menaki community. My mother hailed from there that I have nativity to District 3, where I ran and I became lawmaker. I was also initiating a process there to build a health facility for them. When I had the two facilities money secured under that budget period, 2021, it was $100,000 United States dollars. The Ministry of Health did advise me appropriately that we have a standard criteria for a clinic that the Ministry of Health will assume jurisdiction over. So, Honorable Cole, if you have to allow us to assume jurisdiction over those clinics that you want to build, we have to advise you when it comes to our medical standard. I will appropriately advised by the Ministry of Health that all you have to do, you have the authority, is to go by and seek more clarity from your colleagues, and then you do communication. Either you take the buyer money, you combine it with Bonnet and you do Bonnet, or you take Bonnet, you combine it with buyer and do one of the projects. It will be the best thing to do, because if you did a splintered project, government money will be wasted and the Ministry of Health will not take responsibility of those clinics. I listened to the advice of the Ministry of Health. I did a communication to the Deputy Minister of Health. I want to make Honorable Moimah Briggs Mensah and her colleagues who are trying to attack my holy person and character, that I did not have any intent of criminality. That's why I put myself on record asking them, the ministry, to transfer $25,000 United States dollars of that money to Bayer and have Bayer completed or built as a health facility, and asserting in this communication that I will have additional money to carry on the Bonnet project. Now, what was the intent? Did we build clinic or not? That should be Honorable Moimah Briggs Mensah inquiry. Of course, as a person who loves his people and always care for them, 10-bedroom clinics were built. Honorable Moimah asserted in the public that our Honorable Marvin Cole took that money and ate the money. This building is not ready by the advice of the Ministry of Health, and it's not ready to serve more than 5,000 to 10,000 residents of Bond County. The money we're not taking from Bond County and carried to a Grand Crew. Even if we did, it is for the Liberian people and was in the best interest of the Liberian people. So I acted as the lawmaker and representation of Bond County on the Ways, Means, and Finance. I acted and I acted appropriately, knowing that economic constraint. Today we have this facility. Now, under the 2023, I still lobbying to make sure we have additional funding to have Bonnet resuscitated, and then continue to have health delivery access to our people. But it took me about for Honorable Mensah to inform the public that we ate the money. There is no clinic built. This is the modern clinic. It's not one of those mushroom projects that they are referring to, that they are doing projects. Honoring His Excellency Dr. George Manneh, we are also lieutenants of this government. We always uphold the dignity and the character of this government that is represented by Honorable President George Manneh, that will be overwhelmingly re-elected October 10, 2023. Now, Honorable Mensah, he who comes with equity must come with clean hands. If indeed you are sincere that whatever affects Bon County, it is your concern. Bayata that is honored the wives of the then Deputy Speaker, Honorable Prince Kiamumoe, who is your political director or godfather. Please, Bayata Clinic in the national budget 2010-2011, 45,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, and now we have more than $100,000 to $200,000. Madam Mensah, you were calling on Senator Moimah that you ensure that he scraped Bonner from the national budget. I challenge both you and Senator Moimah. If Bonner is removed from the budget, it will suggest that Bayata should be removed from the national budget. Because I did a communication to ask the Ministry of Health to combine the both fundings and have one project done. But unlike Bayata, only a mere foundation is there after wasting government money more than 250,000 United States dollars. I'm asking you who come from the opposition bloc, do you have the moral rectitude to question my authority or my character? Honorable Mensah, I also want to remind you, Genco Company, the General Construction Company of Bon County, you awarded projects to that company that is owned by your husband, Mr. Mensah. You are preaching about equity. You do not have any moral grounds. You corrupt, and you got no moral grounds, and you need to be baptized in the holy water of baptism so that you can change your character. This is the land of caviars, and I'm saying if she crosses the land, it will be catastrophic because there are more dangerous things in your closet than to come and attack my person. I have been quiet, and I remain quiet. I have a serious stake in your district. I've been there, I gave $1 million before you were there cheering me and yelling for me to help you lift you up, and you intend to bring my character down when you don't have the grounds. Honorable Mensah, in Kayata, the district that I represent, the political father of Senator Moimah, Dr. Heron Tupa, received more than 25,000 United States dollars for Kayata Clinic. Today, that clinic is dysfunctional. What happens to that money? Madam Kokochie, who said that when something affects the people of Bon County, it is your concern. Madam Kokochie, Millington in District 1, over 18,000 United States dollars were paid under your caucus leadership. And only grass and ground scorums we can find in the site of that project. And deers and porcupines are living there. Madam Chair, I hope you will also flag that. I will send a little caveat to Madam Mensah. You took the counting machine and you turned it over to your husband, who now begin a mechanic for the Bon County machine. Today, we cannot have access to road. That machine was used. It had been scrapped and sold by you both, your husband and you have squandered the money. Honor the code of conduct. If you awarded contract to yourself, that is your husband's company, honor your wife as co-chair as conflict of interest. Distinguished member of the press, there's so much. I never meant to bring Bon County in the public, but when I'm attacked politically, I have to respond to some of the elementary exceptions made by those elementary lawmakers. Some of us who are veterans, we have been here, we served the legislature for over 12 years or 14 years before we begin lawmakers. We understand the political moral operandums of this legislature. So we understand how to deal with issues. When you do not understand issues, it's very best in your interest to ask and seek inquiry. Now, the bonnet where I come from, why now? Madam Mensah, over 6 years, you have not spoken for the children in Bonnet Town, where I pay more than $400,000 in the elementary, Jumpy Major Elementary School. I went in your district to help. There where I come from, I pay more than $400,000 to send kids. And they voted you there. You cannot boast of a kitchen in Bonnet Town. Now you want to ride. Maybe you thought you could have rated on the ignorance of our people. We will sharpen this contradiction. We'll tell them you are failed and you deserve no second term. And Bonnet people will not vote you up. I can tell you that. Thank you, distinguished leaders of members of the press.
Thanks so much. You heard the Honorable rightly, and so we'll entertain some questions straight to the issue, and then you get your response from the Honorable man. So questions.
responding to the allegation that
good morning. My name is
money was placed in the national budget for Bonue Health Center in Bon County that does not exist. And he is being accused by the Bon County State lawmaker of
no, tomorrow morning, in fact, I'm going to be accompanied by press officers from here to see this facility so that somebody can actually say we manufacture pictures. This project is at the verge of being dedicated. You can see it's now painted where the people's money, the Liberians' people's money, honor His Excellency Dr. George Manewia, the president who have taught us to be clean, with protecting his image and our image at all times. So we did not steal government money, as made the exception made by the opposition bloc. But let them come, and I challenge both Honorable Mensah and Senator Moimah that she clean, that she will go to take the Bonue project from the budget. Let them bring the same picture of Bayata cleaning. If they did so, I will apologize to her publicly. But Bayata has no clinic that have received more than $200,000 of government monies. You go into a man who is sitting on the seat of sin and you are asking him to ask people to repent. That is a contradiction of political gimmicksing.
Yeah. So, Honorable Cole, my name is Titus and I work for Joy FM. I see you make so many exceptions with respect to your caucus chair. One of such has to do with the selling of the yellow machine parts and conflict of interest. You being part of the caucus, why haven't you spoken to that issue? Is there another political games for the fact that she has come up to talk about this clinic and you want to just burst out in the public to see her being dirty?
I did. That's why I did official communication to the national legislature, more specifically the House of Representatives, that I perceive major corruption. These are the corrupt individuals I'm talking about. That immediate moratorium should be placed on the county's account because people were vandalizing and looting the county's cover. That's why I did a communication. And because of my legislative action, today moratorium is still placed on the county's account. So I did not speak because she raised issue. I spoke more than a year ago that individuals who were claiming that they are holy, these people need the blood of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Sure.
Yeah. Honorable Cole, you claim that you have more to say from the Honorable's closet. Why other things are still there that need to be said and you have not spoken about? Secondly, the caucus is always involved with conflicts. Don't you think these misunderstandings is hampering the county's development, affecting your people that you represent?
I 100% agree with you. Now, if Madam Mensah intent was good, she could have come to me to seek inquiry. But she did not do so. She decided to ridicule my president. Her intent, or maybe her thoughts were, monies was stolen. And I would have never done that. 50,000 is money, but it's not money for me. I'm far beyond that. And I respect to issues that stay in her closet, I'm challenging and sending the caveat out. If Madam Mensah comes by in the public and speak, there are more things in Salada that will be darker, including murder. I'm prepared to give those information to the public.
Thank you. Augustus Sir, True FM.
Thank you. And Augustus Sir, in a report for True FM. I listened to you. You talked about the money allocations where one believed that you've been taking the money all the time or the facility does not exist. But I'm curious as it relates to you being a representation of the county on the Committee on Waste Management and Finance. Were you in any way approached during your hearings by Representative Moimah or Representative Cole as to this identical facility that according to them does not exist, that should be trashed out of the budget?
No, I will never approach. I think they have a calculated attempt and they thought that they were going to maybe catch me unaware. They thought something sinister was going on. They thought something serious was going on. But they did not know that indeed the clinic actually exists. That the monies were combined to do a project and the project has been done. And the Ministry of Health is not going to, this was just intended to besmirch the high-end character of the Ministry of Health, which I know the ministry will never be involved in such corruption. Because before the ministry can expend any money, they have to give contract, and that contract must be awarded to a contractor, competent and qualified contractor, certified by the PPCC and the Liberia National Construction Company, Association of Contractors. Until those individuals award a contract, I don't think Honorable Mensah ever thought that this facility does exist.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press,
so thank you so much for watching Spoon TV as always.
Thank you very much.
Marvin Cole has been responding to widespread allegation by his colleague, Bon County lawmaker of District 6, Moimah Briggs Mensah, as it relates to the Bonua clinic that she said does not exist in the county and is being placed in the budget.